Hello, everybody, and welcome back to exciting, thrilling, exhilarating time trial one try action here on twitch.tv/FlandersOH. We got quite the slate for today, because for one, we're going to have, as you see here, Swazzey versus ElectroTDS, and we're also going to have I'm Matthew versus None Guy. So, and we got the last two matches of the Olympics coming up here for you guys tonight. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and get into our first match here, Swazzey versus Electro. We're going to do a quick little introduction of our players, and then we're going to go ahead and get things started. Alright, so coming in at as the number 2 seed, came into the tournament as the number 2 seed, I should say. We got Swazzey here, number 15 in the world. Best track DT Mountain, worst track Dino Jungle. The two tracks with the same music, kind of ironic, but yeah. Is from Germany, is the German MKDD champ, but is representing Team Europe for these MKDD Olympics. And yeah, overall God, 32 out of 32 God times, definitely a very skilled player. But almost as skilled as him is ElectroTDS, his opponent. Now, came into the tournament as the number 4 seed, but has been improving a lot in these last few weeks. He's gotten his rank up to number 19. So, 15 versus 19. You're obviously dealing with an extremely close matchup there in terms of just rank alone. Electro, best track, Waluigi Stadium, worst track, Yoshi Circuit. That's interesting. You'll find out why here in just a second. And yeah, you see overall God. So again, not quite as good as Swazzey, but still very close in terms of overall skill level. And, definitely has a chance to make some waves in this match. Because this is our third place match. So we did have Swazzey lose 7-2 to an guy in the semifinals, and Electro lost 7-1 to iMatthew. But honestly, that Electro match seemed a lot closer. Just so many more closer finishes in that match that and iMatthew just ended up kept squeaking those out, which is honestly impressive because Electro was going up against the number 1 seed in the whole tournament. So the fact that he was able to pull off a closer match an arguably closer match against a better opponent, is definitely a sign that he could definitely pull off this win. Predictions are heavily favoring him currently, 100% to 0%. Prediction bros are hating on Swazzey right now, although there's only one person who's done a prediction, so not sure what that's all about. But hey, I don't blame you if you don't want to predict, because this is a very hard match to predict. Two very close and skilled players. This could literally go either way. And this is what's really going to make this match interesting. You see these player standings? Look at this. Swazzey, 178 points. Electro, 177 points. All right? These two, 1 point apart in the standings. Just goes to show how close they are in terms of overall skill. And so, yeah, so this match will decide who finishes second and third overall, and gets on the overall podium. And speaking of podium, this is the third place match. So the bronze medal is at stake here as well. These are the last medals being distributed for the tournament, so it's both these players' last chance, and neither of them are guaranteed a medal. The only way they can get a medal is if they win, so definitely that is on the line. And the country standings, Europe and USA Midwest, the two teams of these players are pretty close, but it's just not close enough. Europe has secured second place. They're not going to catch Canada. And USA Midwest is not unable to catch them anymore, and none of these are going to be able to catch them. But, looks like last second the predictions heavily shifted towards Swazzey. Now it's 88% for Swazzey. Dang. I would not be as confident in Swazzey winning. I'm not going to lie. Alright, I'm going to make a prediction. I think Electro's going to win this one by a score of 7-5. That's my prediction. You can hate me for it, but it's just a prediction. Doesn't necessarily have to be right, but it is a prediction. Alright, and just as a reminder of our time trial one try match structure, it is first to 7 races wins, meaning it's the best of 13. Both players will ban one track before the match. That's already been decided. The lower seed will pick the first played track, so Electro will pick the first track to be played, and I believe that's already been picked. Excuse me. And then, yeah, whoever loses the first track will pick the next track, and so on. And then, yep, this is unimportant. All right, now it's time for the greatest transition in history. Ooh, look at that. Oops, I'm not full screen on Electros. All right, there we go. All right, you guys. We are almost underway here. Let me go ahead and unmute Swazzey's audio. And let me do this real quick. All right. All right. I think we are just about ready to go. And yes, we are. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and get with the countdown. And as you can see, Electro picking Yoshi Circuit as his first track. And we actually did see during the pre-show that this was his worst track. We'll see how that plays out for him. Swazzey going for the shroom on lap 1, potentially hinting at a lap 3 YOLO attempt. I guess we'll see. But yeah, very interesting move for Electro to pick his worst track to start off. I mean, when you're this good at the game, like, your worst track, you're still going to be pretty good at that track, but still. But this track is a much more technical track than most of the tracks in the game. Not really a lot of places where you can get screwed over by something. So it's a more safe pick, but also risky for the reason of, again, it is your worst track by rank. And yeah, just a complete contrast in that compared to Swazzey, who banned Dino Jungle, which is his worst track. So definitely interesting to see the strategies from the runners here. I did not catch the lap 1 time. It's a little hard to gauge just because the different shroom strats. We'll compare these one shroom laps. It's like a 33.538 from Swazzey versus a 33.218 from Electro. Electro gonna shroom. Swazzey goes for the YOLO, or at least he attempts to go for the YOLO, drops the MT, tries to correct last second, and just fails to. That's probably gonna seal this one, honestly. It is very difficult to fall off on Yoshi Circuit unless you fail the YOLO. So, if Electro were to somehow lose this one, it would be... Yeah, no, I definitely respect the YOLO attempt. Because in the semifinal match against a Nun guy, Swazzey and the Nun guy played Yoshi Circuit, and they actually both went for YOLO and both made it, so that was definitely a clutch moment for them. But yeah, Electro was easily going to take this one. 142.4, very solid one try. Didn't go for YOLO, didn't need to. Very well done by Electro, and he is going to start off in the lead. Very well done. Alright, so yeah. Swazzey down 1-0 as the higher seed, as the favorite. We will see what his next track pick is. This could be very crucial because it's going to be the difference between being tied and down 2. So obviously a lot on the line there. Yeah, we will see what his pick is. Alright, looks like Luigi Circuit going to be picked from Swazzey. So, let me do some investments real quick. Okay. Alright. Hold on. Sorry. Oh, what the fuck? Okay. Alright. Alright, here we go. It is time for Luigi Circuit. And yeah, so smart pick from Swazzey here, I feel. Because Yeah, actually, Luigi Circuit used to be Electro's worst track, and this is still one of his worst. Yoshi Circuit is slightly worse for him, but ooh, we see Swazzey going into the stands here, some on the U-turn. Not a great start for him. But yeah, I was trying to say it's a very smart pick from Swazzey, because not one of Electro's best tracks for sure, but obviously this lap 1 is going to tell a different story. 25.712 versus 27.342. So Electro, wow, second and a half ahead, more than that actually. Very strong start from him. Oh, and yeah, Swazzey going in the sand again. You're just building the sandcastle out there. Electro first room coming out, logical. Should see Swazzey's as well. 24.851 versus 26.455. Swazzey down over 3 seconds on Luigi. I think this one might just be over, you guys. Electro rounding the final corner, Shrooms cleanly enough, 115.441, and that is going to make it a 2-0 ball game. Sorry. Yeah, 118.602 from Swazzey, not particularly close on that front. So yeah, so Electro, 2-0. 2-0 to start us off. Yeah, 115.41 try is pretty wild. Obviously did see some issues from Swazzey's end to completing that race, which definitely factored into Electro's win, but still a very impressive 1 try. As we head into our next track pick from Swazzey, which will be Sherbetland. Now, this is a track pick for sure, and it's a track pick I like because, you know, if you're Swazzey, you start off with 2 of the more skill-based, more technical tracks, Yoshi Circuit, Luigi Circuit, and then you lose on both of them. You're like, okay, this isn't gonna work, right? So now you pick a more variant track, like Sherbetland, and that's something I can definitely respect. Because we obviously saw that this is actually one of the best tracks for both of these players, so should see some good racing here. 25.552 versus 25.789 on the openers. Electro ahead by about 0.2, but did go up on the slope at the beginning of the lap a bit. Don't think that cost him too much time. Curious to see what the Shroom strats are here. Electro can go for it lap 2, and Swazzey going to go around. Alright, interesting. Very interesting. It'd be hard to compare these laps here, but we'll check out the times. 24.285, very strong Shroom lap. 25.041 by Swazzey, not a bad lap at all. Both players getting through the Shy Guys cleanly on all 3 laps. So very good driving on display by both of these players, proving that these are 2 of the best players in the world. Swazzey, Shrooms are coming out. Could have been cleaner for sure. But Electro, oh, Swazzey with a little mistake, gets some airtime. 115.011 versus 115.645. Yeah, Electro is going to take this one. Swazzey just losing a bunch of time on the Shroom lap, gets a little wide on the Shroom, and then not the cleanest end section. And, you know, 3-0. 3-0. That's gotta hurt. It's gotta hurt. Okay. I mean, you obviously come into this match as the favorite. And then, you know, you come into the match as the favorite, and then all of a sudden you're down 3-0, and it's like, okay, what the heck? What the heck do I do now? And for Swazzey, apparently the answer to that question is you pick Mushroom Bridge. Because that will be our next track, Mushroom Bridge. And yeah, so, oh, there you go. Please. Okay, sorry, keyboard messed up. Alright, here we go. Mushroom Bridge. We're starting any second now. Yep, there we go. Alright. So, yeah. So, obviously, pretty rough situation for Swazzey. I mean, you're down 3. Definitely not possible to come back from this, but still, just not an easy deficit to make up at all. And that will only be harder to make up with every win Swazzey gets to Electro. Okay, oh, both players getting stuck on the tunnel wall. I'd say Swazzey definitely had a better recovery from that. Definitely not a great first lap from either of these players. We will check out these lap times as they approach the finish line. 31.73 versus 29.724. So Swazzey was ahead by about 0.4, but hits the wall, gets stuck. That is very rough. Doesn't shroom either. Very interesting. I don't know when he plans on using that. Maybe we'll just do a flap strat on lap 3. But I imagine Electro is going to be quite a few seconds ahead going into this final lap. We'll see 26.119 versus 29.238. So yeah, Electro getting nearly 3 seconds there. So about 2.5 seconds ahead. Did have the other shroom. Swazzey now using both of his shrooms again. As I said, just the flap strat. But unless we see an Electro mistake, I think he has got this one in the bag. Electro does, that is. Going towards the finish line, dodged the bus, 122.544. Not the cleanest run by any means, but it is enough to beat Swazzey's 125.0. Again, both players made a costly mistake on lap 1, so it canceled out, but Swazzey made a costly one at the beginning of lap 2, and Electro did not. So that was the difference. And now it's 4-0. It's 4-0. What the fuck, dude? It's 4-0. Electro putting on a show today. Complete domination of a player he was not necessarily expected to beat. So I don't know. Alright. Here we go. Alright, we are underway here on... Oh! Look at that sync. Oh my goodness. God plus 10 sync right there. Alright, so Mac. It's a very interesting track. A more technical one, but also a lot of really annoying spots. Can definitely screw players over big time. That that first turn, or it's not the first turn. That big A-Tech turn, fancy A-Tech, at the beginning of the lap there, it's definitely a place where both players can mess up. But both players got through it pretty cleanly. Both dodged the Goombas. We'll check out these lap 1 times. 31.63 versus 34.22. Yeah, I definitely say Swazzey had the cleaner lap overall. And it's going to give him a quick lead, but here comes the shrew. Clean from both players. Oh, Swazzey hitting some grass afterwards, though. That could get Electro back in this one very easily. Lap 2, Goomba section coming up. Oh, Swazzey with the Goomba hit. Goes into the grass. That's rough. That is rough. 28.959 versus 32.14. Swazzey down by about a second now. It's not great. Ooh, Electro goes wide around the tree. Has to wait before shrooming. That could cost him a bit of time. Will it cost him a second, though? Will be enough. I don't think it will. Rounding the lap 3. Final. Oh, Electro with the Goomba hit. Electro with the Goomba hit. Goes into the grass as well. Oh, goes into more grass. I think Swazzey might have this one. He does. 129.115 versus 130.032. Wow. So Goomba hits from both players, but Swazzey just ends up having the cleaner run overall and gets him on the board. That's gotta feel good. Definitely was not the nicest first few races for the Swazz here, but you know, gets himself on the board. Alright, here we go. Both players seem to be a Rady. At least Electro is a Rady. For Wario Coliseum, which is Electro's pick. Interesting. We haven't seen a lot of like super variant tracks thus far, so a little nice change of pace. And yeah, so I know this is a track that Electro actually I think played like literally just yesterday, or at least within the last couple of days. So definitely pretty well practiced here. Can't necessarily say the same for Swazzey. Not entirely sure when the last time he played it was, or put serious time into it. But Electro gets stuck on the wall there, and that's obviously going to cost him big time. Both players did smartly use the mushrooms on the lap 1 spiral, just making sure that if you do fall off that you at least have gotten to use your mushrooms for a little bit of time save. But yeah, Swazzey is definitely in a very, very convincing lead right now. Does drop a couple MTs though. It's going to throw off his line for the smooth ATEX section. We'll check out these lap times as they cross the finish line. 59.896, 1:07.25. So Electro down by a little less than a second, but definitely not over on a track where you can make a ton of mistakes like this one. See these spirals, how the RTEC goes for both players. I assume they're going to RTEC. Okay, not necessarily great from either player, but ooh, Swazzey falling off before the corner, the casual corner as it's called. I don't really like that name. I think it's stupid, but falls off. You're going to need to see an Electro fall here, I think, for Swazzey to come back. I don't know if that's something we're going to see. Electro gets through the donut section. Swazzey gets stuck up on the wall. This one, I think this one's over. I think this one's over, you guys. Electro gets through the smooth ATEX section cleanly. Just has to round the final corner, and he does. Electro has this one in the bag. 2:06.50, barely missed a sub 2. But not an outstanding performance from either player on that track. But Electors end up making less mistakes and having them be less costly. And, you know, that's going to make it 5-1. Wow. Just a really rough time for Swazzey thus far. Obviously, he's gotten a lot of track picks because he's lost a lot of races, and he has not won many of them. So, yeah, we did see like Electra's like first track pick since the first race, and he did win on that track pick, so very good pick from him there. But yeah, bouncing back to Swazzey feels like his millionth track pick at this point, probably, for him. And it seems like that track pick is going to be Rainbow Road. Oh boy, here we go. Fuck. Oh my god, fuck. Oh, I fucked it up. Oh, but I didn't fuck it up because it was actually perfect sync. Let's go. Alright, so yeah, Rainbow Road is next on the docket, and, you know, it's just like any other Rainbow Road, except MK64's, because that one's Mickey. There's a lot of places you can fall off, a lot of places you can just mess up big time. And yeah, so these players seem pretty in sync, doing similar strategies. Electro not going for the mid-air and T. Very wise after snatching against IMAth, where he went for it and ended up failing it, and that ended up costing him the race. So, ooh, but Swazzey, I don't know exactly what happened there, but just ends up falling off on the straightaway section. That's a pretty rare place to fall off. I think Electro did drop an MT, a couple MTs on that section, but that's obviously not going to be as much time loss as a fall. So Electro should be in a very convincing lead after this lap. We'll see him use a shroom, and that's another thing. Yeah, Electro still gets to use at least one shroom, and Swazzey does not. So, like a 59.5 lap, I think that was from Electro, for a 1:07.6. So, Electro up like 8 seconds with the shroom advantage. This is going to be a really tough time for Swazzey here. I have a lot of respect for the guy, but I don't know if he can pull this one off. Oh, misses a boost panel too, and yeah, falls off the spiral. Just the missed boost panel messes up his spiral, like rhythm, strategy, whatever. And yeah, 2 falls from Swazzey. Electro's still intact, hasn't made any mistakes, any major mistakes really. Comes to the final Arctic spiral. uses Shroom logically, and it's going to be a 59 one lap. Not particularly outstanding, but it's going to be better than Swazzey's lap. You see as he misses another boost fan. And yeah, we'll see Swazzey rounding the spiral with a 1:05.0 lap. So Swazzey down roughly 14 seconds. It's not impossible to come back from. Oh, Electro did miss a couple boost panels, but stays on the track, on the spiral. And I think as long as he gets through the straightaway, and he does, yeah, not a realistic chance for Electro to fall off again on this one. I think it might be over. Might be over here on the road, De La Rainbow. Not an outstanding R-Tech spiral from Electro, but it's more than enough. 258.2 going to Fry Swazzey here, who his time is 3:08 and counting. 3:10. Can he get this up 3:12? Aw, dang it. Alright, gets 3:12.033. Yeah, Electro completely wipes Swazzey down here. Just a really rough race from Swazzey. So many little mistakes, so many big mistakes. Just, again, you pick Rainbow Road, you're kind of asking for it. Obviously a more variant track, and then just a track where you can make a bunch of mistakes, and Swazzey, unfortunately for him, put that on display a bit. And yeah, the Swazzey bros, not looking great. Not looking great. Yeah, your guy's down 6-1, needs to somehow chain off 6 straight track wins, including 5 of which would be Electro's picks. I don't know, man. I don't know. Again, love the guy, have a lot of respect for him, think he's a great player, but will he be great enough? That is the question we are going to potentially answer, or begin to answer, I guess, as we approach our next track, which will be, Peach Beach. Peach Beach. What a lovely beach. Probably, like, top 7 beach all time. Alright. Oh, Peach Beach is just normal in the German version. Okay, I was waiting for the German track name, but that one's just the same as the English name. Alright. Alright, but both players are readied up, and the countdown has been sent. And yeah, here we go. Alright, Swazzey's last chance here on Peach Beach. Gonna need a very clean run on one of the most technical tracks in the game. Listen, no one said it would be easy, but he's gotta at least get this win in. If he doesn't, it's over. Very clean laps from both players thus far. We'll check out these lap times. 23.137 versus 23.754. Ooh. Swazzey gains about a 0.6 lead, and Electro hits some grass at the beginning of the lap, but Swazzey hits some grass at the end, forced to burn a shroom. Electro also hits the same grass, but does not mushroom. Hold on. This is a very interesting race all of a sudden. Electro hitting some more grass. Oh, wow. Okay. I would say Swazzey isn't quite the lead right now, but Electro does have the 2 shroom instead of the 1 shroom, so yeah. Swazzey does use that second shroom, does it pretty well, but it looks like they're just about even again. Swazzey maybe about a second ahead, as we enter the final straightaway Swazzey just needs a clean attack, and I think he'll have this one. 109,257, but yeah, 110,374 from Electro. So definitely not the cleanest run from either player. A lot of little mistakes that ended up adding up, and they added up even more for Electro. And you know, that's gonna give Swazzey. It's gonna give Swazzey a track win. Listen, it's not impossible. It's not impossible. He only needs to win 5 of Electro's track picks. I'm not gonna say it can't be done. You know what they say? Nothing is impossible. Alright, we're just awaiting the ready from Swazzey here. And there it is. Alright. Countdown underway, has been sent. Should see a start any second now. And indeed we do. Alright, a little bit of desync, but not the end of the world. And yeah, here we go. Waluigi Stadium is Electro's track pick. We did see at the beginning of the stream that this is, I believe, his best track. So, obviously, very smart pick. You know, going with what you're good at. He needs a win to just steal this match off. And, you know, going with what he thinks is his most likely chance to win. And, you know, again, if you're Electro, and, like, let's say Swazzey wins this track, then the pressure's really going to start mounting, because it's like, okay, wait, Swazzey just won 2 in a row. Is he actually going to come back and win this thing? But Swazzey in the lead after lap 1 by about half a second. Not entirely sure what happened to Electro that made him lose all that time. But definitely not a clean start to lap 2 either from Electro. Is still a very variant track, so we'll see how exactly that lead will hold up. This could be very rough for Electro, because, you know, kind of on bad pace, I guess. Might not know these cycles perfectly. But Swazzey also might not know these cycles. 32.722 versus 33.6. So wait, what the heck? When did Swazzey lose a bunch of time? Electro's in the lead. Not by much, but is in the lead. When did... I'm flabbergasted. Wall rides from both players, looking alright. And yeah, we'll see how this Piranha type section goes. Very rough section. Gotta deal with the cycles. And actually we're going in the dirt some. Okay, hold on. Ramp trick from both players. Oh, Swazzey hits the fireball. I think that's gonna do it. Yes, it is. 139.302 from Electro versus a 146.55 from Swazzey. Swazzey might have had a chance there, but a chance is not enough when you're playing against Electro. And that's gonna do it. That is going to do it, you guys. Sorry. What am I saying? Electro takes home the victory. 7-2, resounding victory over Swazzey. A very good win from him, playing against a higher ranked opponent. That's got to feel very good.